Scandal, controversy, mayhem. I got a good one for y'all, good people. Gervonta Tank Davis Team fights back after Jake Paul canceled the fight, went on a tirade, explained his side of things. Tank's team is now fighting back, and they're stating that Netflix did not, in fact, cancel the bout. So in the video, I'm going to break it down per usual, and we're going to try to get to the bottom of this. What up, Fight World? It's your boy, Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Well, really? Boxing, you just never know. I previously reported Gervonta, Jake Paul, it's over. Fight's not happening. As of me recording this video, Jake Paul has not actually officially announced who he will be fighting next. They have massive offers that they sent to a couple different people to replace Gervonta Davis. But again, as of me recording, we don't know who that's going to be. But now, people, I heard mixed things, right? Some people didn't really care because they thought it was kind of a foolish matchup. Some people are mad. Some people are like, oh, Tank fumbled and messed up the bag. I'll get to that in a while, but let's talk about what Tank's team is now alleging, right? And I have the screenshots for you. One of Tank's coach, Kenny Ellis, says Netflix did not pull the fight. Jake Paul said it throughout the promotion that he was scared, and he was more scared than he had ever been before a fight by facing Gervonta Davis. He goes on to say the closer the fight got, the more reality was getting to him, so he put an scapegoat plan in effect. He was scared. He said it out of his own mouth over and over again. The fear was real. So, according to Team Tank, they are suggesting that this was not at the bequest of Netflix to cancel the event. That when these allegations and accusations came, right, Jake Paul took that and ran with it and then used it as a catalyst to stain Tank's name but not have to fight him. Then he's posting, I guess, like what's previously was out there. And this was from Jake Paul's own page. Jake Paul says he's the most scared he's been before a fight. Internally, I am the most scared going into a fight that I've ever been. Knowing how good Tank is actually going to be my toughest test to date. And this is from MVP Promotions. They posted this. This is their graphic, right? Ring Magazine. Jake Paul admits he's scared and losing sleep over a Gervonta Davis fight. Wow. Jake Paul reacts to Tank's new sparring. I might lose, it says on the YouTube thumbnail. Jake Paul says he's scared for the Tank fight, Boxing News. Jake Paul found his way out, he says. 2 weeks from the fight, and let's not forget, Jake Paul, the contracted weight is 195 pounds. I bet if he were to get on a scale today that he's nowhere near the fight weight. It's so many games being played. What type of games being played? How's it going down? Stars to the stars, and I got to know now. You and me or what? Trying to give you the what? Right? So he's suggesting that Jake Paul's camp is in shambles and he ain't even close to making weight, which was another issue. Again, Netflix, he's reiterating it. Netflix did not pull the fight, so don't blame Gervonta Davis accusations. Jake Paul has a far worse track record. Jake Paul backed out. And then he posted the picture with Jake and all these black sparring partners. And it says, I give them YN's grits in the morning for helping me get ready. Oh, wow. Wow. So this is from Tank's team. He's saying that there's more than meets the eye. And these allegations, they're trying to pacify it and make it sound like Netflix was the one that said, hey, we don't want this fight going on, and pulled the plug. But in fact, it wasn't Netflix. It was Jake Paul who found a scapegoat kind of and an exit strategy and got to moving. So that is interesting news to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But I've also heard a couple things in the boxing game, and we'll go over that right now. Some people are even alleging that Jake Paul, he brought in all of these real boxers that are young and spry and I guess closer to Tank's division. And some people are alleging that he was having issues with these guys that are like not considered Tank, but smaller, right? And if that's the case, then you can understand why that would be problematic. For example, Jake Paul himself stated that he was trying to lose weight and work on speed for this Tank fight because he was fighting a smaller person. Like, you have to understand, when you're 200 pounds or whatever Jake Paul weighs, right? But it looks like around the 200 mark, 215, somewhere around there, right? So you're 200 pounds, and then you're going to fight Tank, who is a heavy hitter, and people at higher weight classes have vouched for his power. Plus, he's like this much shorter than you. So what happens is, sometimes when you're fighting a guy who's like this much taller than you or this much shorter than you, no big deal. But when you go from you're this tall to the person's this short and they're faster and they've been boxing longer than you, sometimes you can run into problems because you're used to jabbing and punching at a certain range in a certain, I guess, trajectory. But all of that would change if like Tank's coming in with some head movement and he's already smaller than what you're used to fighting. Right? It's not even really comparable. Like, Mike Tyson's not the tallest heavyweight, but he was 20 years removed from his actual career. And I told you what the fight was going to look like. People think, oh man, Jake Paul's just a YouTuber, so somehow Mike Tyson was going to wind back the clock. Boxing does not work like that. And I've stated this on numerous occasions, bro. Boxing is what you see is what you get more often than not. So if somebody looks washed or they don't look like they're in their prime, more often than not, if they fight somebody who is in their prime or somebody who has been looking good, more often than not, that is going to be shown, right? You occasionally get a George Foreman versus Michael Moore type of fight where the old head comes from behind. And mind you, Michael Moore was winning the fight, but George Foreman, he's not even a good example because he was bigger than Moore and he has legendary cracks. What I mean is his power is generational, like meaning these power heavyweights to that caliber, you only see them once in so many hundreds of fighters that come across. Like George Foreman has the type of power where, rest in peace to Big George, but he had the type of power where he's denting the heavy bag, the type of power where he could have fought in any generation and he would be relevant as a heavyweight, right? Because he wasn't the smallest heavyweight. He wasn't like a Rocky Marciano who like weighed 188 pounds. He's a big, burly, country-looking dude with big mitts and crazy power. So Foreman is an anomaly. He's not a good example of like what can be done on average because he's an exception. And in life, you have the Jordans, the Tom Bradys, the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Phelps, who are kind of more the exception than the rule, right? So I knew how the Mike Tyson fight was going to look. Mike was losing all of his fights before, like that's why he retired. He was like losing that whole little stretch. Then you a weed smoker. You're less aggressive than in your younger years. You're a father and, you know, a podcaster. You smoking trees and doing mushroom. I mean, come on, bro. I don't know what people expected. They're just, I guess in situations like that, people are always hoping for like the turn back the clock moments. But in boxing, it seldom works like that. But Tank, he not washed. He not a person who's like washed. He was much smaller than Jake Paul. But again, some people are speculating or alleging that the guys like Shakur and stuff in camp are giving them problems. So if Shakur is giving you problems in camp, imagine Tank, who is smaller, but he hits harder and he's more explosive. So Shakur's a southpaw, yes. Shakur has also brittle hands and not as much power. Tank is explosive. So I don't know. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. I don't feel what Team Gervonta Davis is saying is super far-fetched, because here's the other angle. You know, your boy Ego always going to talk about the angles. I don't personally know if Netflix canceled or had a say in that or preferred it or whatever. I don't know. But here's the thing that makes that questionable is Tank is only dealing with accusations. He is not the first boxer or athlete to have allegations like leveraged against him. So why would it immediately be like, hey, cancel the whole event off of the allegations, right? Jake Paul saying there's a tape of it happening, but I don't know. I haven't seen the tape. I haven't seen like TMZ leak the tape. Maybe it exists, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. We have to wait and see if that comes out or whatever. However, my thing is this. Despite a potential for a tape, Tank has had similar legal problems before you even established the fight, right? He's had different run-ins. So my question would be this. Why did you ever pick Gervonta Davis if you are like, MVP is a company pretty much founded, we have a bunch of female fighters and we respect women and this is what we're running with, and you're anti this, that, and the third, to the point where you're like, oh, Tank's a horrible garbage human, blah, blah, blah. He already had this type of behavior attached to his name in legal trouble before that. So it's like, how did you still sign up to fight him despite past run-ins with the law, past prison or beef with the judge, all this stuff that Tank had, hit and runs and all this type of stuff? You still signed up to fight him, but then weeks before the fight, new allegations come out. Again, for me, I still haven't seen the tape, and now you're like, oh, we can't go through and move forward with the fight. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, certain people have, certain celebrities have things that are attached to their name, period. So the point I'm making is Tank has whatever he is attached to his name right now, he's had that attached to his name in the past. So what makes it different? What makes right now the stopping point as opposed to never even getting involved with the fight? Because I already did an unpacked video where Michael Perry was accused. His mom said, I think he's going to hurt his ex-wife. I think he's going to hurt me. He's unstable. He has a bad temper. There's a whole 911 call. I've already made the video. Check the unpack. Mike Tyson went in prison for SA and Robin Givens said he headbutted her and all this type of stuff. So you fought Mike Perry, who has run-ins with the law, and not just women, but also run-ins like punching somebody at a bar or whatever. Mike Tyson has his own legal problems, blah, blah, blah. And you fought Chavez Jr., who they're saying is connected to the Sinaloa cartel. But then Tank is just a deplorable, despicable, reprehensible individual to the point where now the fight gets canceled. That seems a bit weird when you already fought people. First of all, boxing, I'm not validating or justifying heinous acts, but you would have to be a total putz and a tool to not understand that pro athletes, especially in boxing, which is already an aggressive sport, is not cookie cutter clean. It's not always going to be sunshines and rainbows with these fighters. These fighters come from the hood, slums, gangs, poverty, not having nothing, cornflakes with water. They're coming from that. They're coming from the struggle. So it's not all like peaches and cream. You know what I mean? So you might as well not even fight in the sport if you're looking for the model citizen and people with a clean bill of health and no run-ins with the law, because we know for a fact boxers, a lot of times their celebrity comes with a lot of that. Andre Ward fought Kovalev twice, and he got the same type of charges. A woman said he hurt her dog and punched her in the face, and some other chick on an airplane. Look it up. Jim Lampley. Look it up. We're just talking about allegations. So let me know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. It is what it is. The fight's canceled, but now we're debating why it got canceled. Drop it. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.